Welcome to the Garden Wise Show with Colorado's most knowledgeable and entertaining garden experts with host Keith Funk, the Garden Wise Guy. Get ready for gardening tips that you can use right now. New plants, hot products, and the latest from horticultural science. The phone lines are open, so call into the Legend Studio now. 303-477-2473. That's 303-477-2473. Or text your questions and photos to 303-477-5600. That's 303-477-5600. On the air since 1994, Keith and his guests have been answering your questions about gardening in the high-altitude desert of the Colorado Front Range. And now, here's your host, Keith Funk, the Garden Wise Guy.
Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Garden Wise Show on this beautiful July weekend.
Yes.
Saturday morning.
Saturday morning.
We are on live
early.
every Saturday morning from 7 to 9. Just in case you're the first time tuning in, my name is Keith Funk. That's me over here. If you're watching on Facebook Live, this over here is Devon. This person over here is Devon. And Devon is one of my regular co-hosts, along with Luann and Colette.
Yep.
And I think on August 8th, I believe Sam is going to co-host because Luann's going to be out of town.
Oh, that's fun.
So, anywho, what we do here is a garden show, and that requires a little bit of your participation, well, in the form of either giving us a call here at the studio at 303-477-2473. That's the phone number. You can give us a call, and we can talk about whatever's going on in your landscape. Or you can text us your question, and that telephone number is 303-477-5600. You can also watch the show live on Facebook Live with the Garden Wise Show. Just go to Facebook and type in the Garden Wise Show, and you should be able to see our smiling faces and hear our melodic voices. And if you have any questions, you can pop them into the comments section. So there's, a number of ways to get a hold of us. And I just want to remind you, like I always do, on the text messaging, you can include a picture, but just one at a time. If you have multiple pictures, send them as multiple text messages. We can tell which ones are connected together.
Yeah.
But for some reason, our system won't accept more than one photo per text. I hope that makes sense.
It makes sense to me anyways.
I've got terrible dry mouth today. I don't know what the deal is. It's probably all those gin and tonics last night.
Oh, goodness.
So all kinds of stuff going on in the garden right now. I'd really be interested to hear from y'all about how the water restrictions are working for you or not.
Yeah. My lawn is suffering.
Is it?
Yep. My lawn is suffering. But my flower beds, they're just starting to show signs of drying, in between, the waterings. And
Yeah.
I've been trying to be fairly good about the following the rules.
Yes.
I've been doing a little additional hand watering.
Sure.
Especially in my vegetable garden. I mean,
Yeah.
2 days a week isn't enough for a vegetable garden. But
Oh, Lord, no.
I'm like, so I've been hand watering my vegetable garden.
Oh, gotcha.
And I have a whole new bed, and I've been doing a little bit of hand watering on
Well,
that.
you'd have to with those brand new plants. I
Yeah.
mean, they're not drought tolerant the day you
Yet.
put them in the ground.
Yeah, but they're actually holding up pretty well.
Good.
But, there's nowhere in my yard that is brutal hot.
You do have a couple of big shade trees
Yeah,
that help a
yeah.
lot. So do I.
Yeah, it helps tremendously.
Well, and you saw my yard last night.
I did. It's looking amazing.
I'm shocked, to be
Yeah.
honest. I mean, I've been very, very conscientious about trying to stick with that twice a week watering business.
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you've been doing, if you've been doing good.
There
with
is
following
one
rules.
zone around the southwest corner of the property, because we're
Yeah.
on a corner lot, and,
Yeah.
and that corner is the southwest facing corner, and it doesn't get any shade over there. And so once in a while, I do have to cheat a little bit.
Throwing a little extra bit of water
Yeah.
on there. Yeah.
But for the most part, everything is looking surprisingly good.
Yeah.
It makes me kind of think that in the past, maybe I've been watering too much.
100% for sure in the springtime for me.
Yeah.
To everybody. In the month of May, we've all been really overwatering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but I think the other thing that's helping me out is, most of the stuff in my garden is 7, 8, 10 years old or more.
Yeah.
So it's pretty well established.
Yeah.
There's a few new things in there every year because I just can't resist.
Sure.
And so again, hand watering. I've got a water barrel, and that empties out pretty quickly.
I was going to say this time of year, it doesn't go very far, but yeah.
But it helps. It does help. And like you said, the vegetable garden needs a little bit of extra attention.
Yeah. I balance that though with the produce that it saves me from having to buy from the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
The stuff that's grown in fields and other places use so much water, and then the resources to transfer that produce to here.
Right.
I figure that I'm resource saving.
And then how much of it gets thrown away?
Yeah. So
Before it gets sold.
I still think it's always worthwhile to grow your own food.
Mm-hmm.
You save resources in the long
Or
run.
go to a farmer's market.
Yep, and local. Yeah.
Yeah, the farmers
both.
markets are popping up all over the place. I know I've been buying stuff over at Nick's farm market.
Oh, they have a lovely
the
one, don't
weekends.
they?
Yeah. Last week I got a bag full of black plums,
Oh,
and it was like juicy candy.
yeah. The plums have been great this year.
Amazing.
Which we might as well take because the peaches are going to be a bit more sparse. There are a handful of peaches coming in from Palisades.
They've been getting them. Yeah, I think it was Delta got frozen, but Palisade was okay.
Yeah.
So that's been good. The cherries have been good.
Mm-hmm.
The apricots were amazing.
They were. I got
So-
some rounds of apricots.
Yeah. So right now, it looks like we have Irene on the line. Good morning, Irene.
Good morning. Well, you were addressing my problem.
What's that?
Oh,
My sprinkler system puts out a half an inch on one zone in half an hour and 45 minutes. The other one is half an inch. Twice a week, that's only 1 inch.
yeah.
My flowers are suffering badly.
Mhm.
Sure.
What can you do to help them along?
Well, one thing you can do is to increase the length of time you run your system unless it starts to run off. If you water for 30 minutes and you start to see runoff into the gutter or what have you, then you can what's called cycle water, where you water for 30 minutes or however long it takes before it starts to run off, and then go to the next zone. And by the time you've gone through all your zones, you can circle back to the first zone and start again. And that will help the water get in more deeply. Also, I have been finding that Revive
Yeah.
has been a real good product for me, especially in my drier areas or areas that are on slopes or are more compacted,
Compacted.
say along driveways and sidewalks where people don't always stay on the paved areas.
Yeah.
Can you put that on your flower bed?
Absolutely.
100%. And the nice thing is it has some organic matter in it, some humic acid in it. So it's all around a great product. I have put it on almost every single one of my properties.
I've used it in the vegetable garden. I've even used it in containers, Irene, because once in a while I will have skipped a container. I've got probably 30, you
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
30 pots out in the backyard there to water. And once in a while I see a squirrel, or something, and I get distracted and I miss a pot. And then it gets too dry. And when that happens, the soil kind of pulls away from the edge of the pot, And so it's nearly impossible to hand water that pot because all the water just wants to run down that gap and out the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Revive, putting some Revive in the water really helps penetrate that drier soil because especially potting soil has so much peat moss in it. And peat moss, when it gets dry, it actually repels water.
Yeah. It
So
forms like a crust on top.
What
Yeah.
is the evaporation rate now?
ET rate.
Oh, the ET rate is 1.98 inches this last week.
So almost two
boy.
inches,
Yeah.
2 inches a week. So if you're only putting down, if you're running each of your zones for 30 minutes, you said,
Half an inch.
yeah, or a half an inch. Yeah. So you're putting down just an inch of water a week. So
Yeah.
yeah, your gardens are definitely,
If you could
suffering
bump
a
your
little.
if you could bump your time up at maybe even just 15 minutes
Yeah.
per zone, you'd be getting much closer to the ET rate.
Yeah.
And then flowers that
I
I've
don't want to
noticed.
get in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, you're
This is
fine
what
for
I've always had it set at, but I do it, 3 times a week.
Yeah, but you are allowed to bump up a little bit the length of time that you're running. You're just not allowed to run it more than the 2 times. I'm letting things like my lawn suffer a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm, preserving that water for my vegetable garden, my flower beds. And then you can supplement additional with some hand watering as long as you got to shut off
Been
on the
doing
hose.
that.
Yeah.
And so that's what I've been doing, when I've noticed something gets a little wilty, not necessarily wilty in the middle of the day, because that can just be some heat wilt. But if it goes into the night and it's still showing a little bit of wilt, then I do go in and do some additional hand
No,
watering.
it's not the wilt I'm worried about. It's the turning brown.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. It's going to
It's
be a
going to
tough
be a
year.
tricky, yeah. It's a tricky year all around for
It
sure.
is. And things are going to suffer. I don't know that there's going to be any way around that unless you just ignore the rules. And you know what I mean?
And yeah, any yard that
Yeah.
you see with bright green lawns, they're ignoring the rules.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Is it too early for homegrown tomatoes?
Not cherry tomatoes. Cherry tomatoes are producing and ripening
Yeah,
right
I've
now.
already picked a
No,
few sun golds.
patio tomatoes, aromas.
It might be too early for those
Yeah.
yet because those are a bigger tomato. But the cherry tomatoes usually ripen much earlier than the rest of them. But your Romas are going to be bigger, and other patio tomatoes are going to be a bigger tomato, so it'll take them a little longer.
And I find sometimes with this heat, the flower production shuts down a little bit.
It does.
So, there's a little lag when it's this hot. But when the temperatures drop a little bit, they'll ramp right back up and start setting fruit.
Now, one thing you can do because when the temperatures exceed 95 degrees, which we've had, it damages the pollen. I guess kills the pollen in tomato flowers, and so you don't get the pollination. So if that's happening, you're seeing the flowers and no tomato set. You can buy a spray. It's a natural spray. It's called Blossom Set or Tomato Pepper Set. There's different brands that call it different things. And you can just spray the flowers, and it'll set fruit without being pollinated.
Yeah.
And-
And a lot
I
of
don't
those have
any
blossomed.
tomato plants. I just wanted to buy some at
Oh.
farmer's
Oh,
market.
gotcha.
Yeah, Nick's. I've been buying some at Nick's.
The
They have
farmers
some
markets.
really good, really nice vine
Oh,
ripened
that's
tomatoes.
a long ways away from me.
Is it?
You can look up,
Yeah.
Irene, some of the farmers markets. Almost every neighborhood has one.
Yeah.
And there've been some good tomatoes showing up.
Yeah,
at
just
farmers
go
markets.
on
I was
Google
wondering
and
if it was too early.
Yeah, no.
it's not going to be too early for the south part of the state bringing them up here.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome.
Thank
Thanks for your call,
you.
Irene. And I was just going to say, to find a farmer's market, just go on Google and say, find a farmer's market near me.
Yeah.
And it'll probably give you a whole handful of
Yeah.
them.
There's a new one over at Harvard Gulch that I think it's on Saturdays. I'm going to double check. I haven't been to it yet. But, I went to my neighborhood we have a nice small one in University Hills,
Uh-huh.
and I went to it. I've been to it a couple times. I usually go to the Pearl Street Farmers Market, and that's a great one. But I went to mine in my neighborhoods a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I got a bouquet of flowers that are done by a lady in the
Oh, nice.
neighborhood.
Yeah.
She just grows them in her yard and makes bouquets out of them, which is lovely. And then I got some grapefruit, and we got a brisket from somebody who raises cattle.
Wow.
Yeah, so go out there to your farmers markets. They're so fun.
Yeah, I've been buying stuff at Nick's
Oh,
because
I
I work
bet
there on the
you.
weekends now, and so it's
Yeah.
just you walk through
Ugh.
the farm or the produce market there, and it's irresistible.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there you
The
go.
time of year.
So how have you been doing with Japanese beetles this year?
I know. I'm an oddity. I have found one Japanese beetle in my whole yard.
Just one?
Just one. I keep my yard
You're not
dry
looking
though.
very hard.
No, seriously, there's just one. Just one.
Okay.
And I have never, I'm so sorry, everyone. I have never treated for a Japanese beetle ever in
Is
my
that
yard.
right? In
I've
your yard?
Never. Though, so I was thinking about this the other day. The people across the street from me water. All the people water across the street from me. My two neighbors on the side of me are fairly dry. One's got a front yard that's just all rock, fabric and all rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then the one immediate next to me, it just never gets watered. And so it's just brown grass. So I think that also contributes and helps.
Mm-hmm.
And I, like I told you before, I push my yard to the dry limits
Yeah.
all the time. Not just this year, but all years.
Well, and beetles like moisture
They do. They
to
do.
reproduce. Yeah.
They
for the
do.
grubs.
And I also encourage a healthy bird population. So I get a lot of the big birds, magpies, a ton of blue jays.
Ooh, you know what magpies like?
Oh, what?
Dead voles.
Really? So, I'm not the best example, but my clients' yards have had less Japanese beetles this year than
Me
they
too.
have in the past. And I might contribute that maybe to the dry winter.
I think so. I think the dryness had something to
Mm-hmm.
do with it. Either that or the main crop just is late coming out. But it should be out by now. I mean, the adults should all be out by now.
Yeah. And I do have some traps at some of my clients' yards,
Mm-hmm.
which are filling up and doing wonderful. And then I am doing some treating with some beetle gone. And I find the key to beetle gone is just being consistent with your application.
Mm-hmm.
So they've said in the past like a 10-day residual on the beetle
Yeah.
gone. I find that if I spray it every 7 days, I kind of stay ahead of that.
Yeah.
And I will do that through the active season.
Yeah, John, when I talked to him last, was saying the 10 to 14 days is if you have a very light infestation. But if you're into the heavy infestation, every 7 days is much more appropriate.
Yeah. But,
And I'm a total convert to using traps.
a funny thing is I was just reading a thing on Facebook this morning in a Colorado gardening group, and the debate gets hot on that one. The debate. And, CSU says, it's not an effective way of controlling it. There's too many. But I don't know. If you put one of those bags in your yard or two of those bags in your yard, man, those things fill up. And I think a dead beetle is
a good beetle.
Yeah.
They can't reproduce.
They can't. And so I can't see, and I have not found that it attracts beetles to the landscape.
No.
It attracts them to the bag.
It attracts them to the bag. And I put my bags at the very perimeter of my property, near plants like spruce trees or things that beetles really aren't attracted to. I don't put them anywhere near my hibiscus or anything that the beetles like to chew on. I don't want to attract them to that area. I want to attract them to an area where there's nothing for them to eat, and the only thing they're going to want to go into is that bag.
Yeah.
And that seems to work pretty well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So last year I tried one, and I was so impressed with the lack of damage I got on the rest of my yard that I've put one on either side now.
Yeah, and they're filled with hundreds and hundreds of beetles. Like, so I just think if everybody did that consistently, I don't think we'd eradicate the problem. I think Palisade was able to eradicate their population.
But
it's a
they got the
smaller
entire
town.
community.
They got the entire community doing it. And for those of you that don't know it, beetles love peaches.
Yes.
Like, they're like, the trees will be dripping with beetles. Like, it's so.
And my plum tree.
And they don't, you'd think that they would eat the leaves or whatever, but they eat the fruit. And they do so much damage. So
That's bad.
yeah, I mean, that could have really been damaging for their livelihood.
Well, we're at our first break time for the hour. So, Joe, if you're ready, we're going to take a quick break here on the Garden Wise Show. We'll be back in just a few minutes, so don't go away. You're listening to the Garden Wise Show.
Put a barrier between your beautiful landscape and those nasty weeds with DeWitt Weed Barrier. DeWitt Weed Barrier helps stop weeds before they start around trees, garden beds, shrub borders, patios, and decks. It's easy to use. Just roll it out, cut it to fit, and cover it with decorative bark or stone. Built for lasting performance, this durable woven fabric is guaranteed for 20 years against breakdown from sunlight. And it's porous, so air, water, and fertilizer can still reach the roots of your plants. That means a healthier landscape, less weed growth, and less time spent spraying and pulling. Choose the product Landscape Professionals trust. DeWitt Weed Barrier. Available at Jared's Garden Center, Nick's Garden Center, Wilmore Garden Center, and other independent garden centers.
I know it's hot, but heading out into the garden in the evening can be a great way to decompress after a busy day. This is Luann Aiken, Tagawa's Garden Ambassador. As the heat of the day begins to ease, why not add a few plants, do a little pruning, or generally just take the pulse of your garden? Tagawa Gardens can help with all of that. If you're noticing any problems, bringing pictures or fresh bagged samples into Tagawa's can help. Head to aisle 8 and our garden advisor's desk. The folks working there are problem solvers. Many of them are master gardeners. They all have lots of experience and are ready to help. The 30% off sale continues in our annuals department with beautiful flowers and succulent herbs, perfect for adding some fresh touches here and there in your garden. At 10:30 today, Craig Miller presents part 2 of his summer series on growing colorful xeriscapes. Craig is one of Tagawa's most popular guest teachers. His presentations are lively and full of detailed information on how to make your landscape more drought tolerant. And mark your calendars now. Tagawa's annual anniversary sale begins in just 2 weeks with deep discounts store-wide. From July 31st through August 15th, almost everything in stock will be marked down from 20 to 40%. It's Tagawa's way of thanking our community for its support as we celebrate 43 years in business. It's all proof positive that we are Tagawa's, your garden store, and so much more.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. See what's on sale at thetreefarm.com. Save 25 to 45% on thousands of 3 to 8-year-old shade and flowering trees. Choose from honey locust, linden, maple, oak, flowering crabapple, serviceberry, willow, and more. And save big on thousands of shrubs and perennials. The Array of Tree Sale. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235. Then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
If you're growing a vegetable garden this year, you already know that there's nothing better than harvesting your own homegrown tomatoes, peppers, cucumbers, and fresh vegetables right from the backyard. But here's a mistake many gardeners make every single year. They plant everything perfectly and then forget that vegetables are heavy feeders and need regular nutrition all season long. That's why the best gardeners recommend Fertilome tomato and vegetable food. This professional strength formula is specially designed to produce healthier plants, bigger harvests, and better flavor from your tomatoes and vegetables. It's available in an easy-to-apply, slow-release pellet that feeds for up to 30 days. making fertilizing simple and convenient. Use it when preparing your soil, mix it in when planting transplants or seeds, and then simply reapply every 30 days throughout the growing season and water it in. That's it. If you want stronger plants and a more productive vegetable garden this season, ask for Fertilome tomato and vegetable food at your favorite independent garden center, including Wilmore Gardens in Littleton, the Gardens at Highlands Ranch, and Tagawa Gardens in Centennial. Fertilome tomato and vegetable food, helping gardeners grow their very best gardens one harvest at a time. And as always, let them know the Garden Wise Guy sent you.
All right, we are back to the Garden Wise Show. My name is Keith Funk. Over here is Devon Hukill. And we are here to answer your gardening questions. And we've got quite a few text messages up here to deal with. We do have open phone lines, though. So if you want to give us a call, 303-477-2473 is the number to call. Let's see. Where do we want to start? Not the cottonmouth.
Yeah.
We've already discussed that. Let's see. Okay, that's the one. No, the hollyhock. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a picture here of a hollyhock leaf with some weevils.
Yeah.
Hollyhock weevils on them.
And those things are little buggers.
They are little boogers, and you really have to go and look for them. They'll be on the leaves. Most of the time, though, I find them up on the flower stem near the top where the new buds are. And what they're doing is they lay eggs in the seed pod area, and the immature stage feeds on the seeds in the seed pod.
Yeah.
And so in the long run, that really reduces the hollyhock's ability to reseed itself, because most of them are biennials.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that it really destroys the flowering.
Yeah.
And then it causes crippling in the leaves, it causes holes, it causes spotting of the foliage of the hollyhock.
Mm-hmm.
So it can be a real issue.
Yeah.
Now there's a number of ways to deal with it. The problem is that to spray the weevils with an insecticide, typically there are bees and other beneficials visiting those flowers.
Yeah.
So I really hesitate to use something like 8 or any kind of just broad spectrum.
Or even a systemic insecticide.
Yeah, because the systemic can get up into the nectar and to the pollen.
Yeah.
So we talked to John over at Phylum Bioproducts a couple of weeks ago about using the beetle gone on hollyhock weevils, and he said they're finding it to be fairly effective.
Yeah. And so it also works on Japanese root weevils. So
strawberry root. Or
strawberry?
black root.
I thought it was, anyways, the vine weevils.
The
too.
vine weevils.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And so the list that it, the beetle gone or the grub gone kills is a finite list. It only kills things in the scarab family.
Right.
But the nice thing is it only kills things in that one small family.
Except weevils are not in the scarab
No,
family.
it's not, but it's
oddly enough, it is effective. And
Yeah.
I don't know of any good weevils.
no, neither do I.
And I don't know of any good scarab beetles.
I mean, there's June beetles. and
June
some
beetles,
people,
they do
but-
some damage to the
Yeah,
roots.
they do.
All the grubs of the scarab beetles eat roots.
Yeah.
Underground. I guess there's a good one. Was it in Africa? The dung beetle is a scarab
it
beetle.
is a scarab,
but we
yeah.
don't have those here.
No, and I would rather use something that targets a really small, group of insects than use something that kills everything.
Exactly. So you could use the beetle gone on your hollyhocks while the bees are there, while the ladybugs and the lacewings and the butterflies are there. Not worry about hurting any of them.
Yeah.
And it will take care of. And I also see the Japanese beetles on hollyhocks.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Because they're in that
Hibiscus
family,
Yeah.
and they like the hibiscus plants. So
They do, yeah. So that would be one product that I would feel confident using for those hollyhock weevils, with doing minimal environmental damage of any kind.
And the weevils can really damage your plants, not just current plants, but it can keep them from producing seed and reseeding.
Yes.
So eventually, if it left untreated, you could lose your hollyhock stand.
Absolutely. So, I hope that helps a lot. Now, the beetle gone comes in a packet, and it's a powder, and you mix it with water and spray it. And I recommend that while you're spraying it, you keep agitating the sprayer.
Yep.
Because it is a powder. It does dissolve in water, but it's sometimes, if you don't agitate it enough, will start to settle out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it'll clog your sprayer.
It'll clog your sprayer, and it does leave kind of a milky, powdery substance on the foliage.
Mhm.
That doesn't bother me at all. But so yeah, just note that.
Yeah.
The instructions are ounces per gallon.
Mhm.
Just Google that. I mean, who has a little scale and weighing things?
Yeah.
It's something like 8 or 10 tablespoons per gallon of water, I think.
Ooh,
Eight
that's a lot.
tablespoon per gallon, I think is what it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now.
Okay.
But yeah, just Google and have them put that into tablespoons because I find that easier.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, every 10 to 14 days. And fortunately, hollyhock weevils don't last all summer. So once you stop seeing them, you should be free of having to spray for them.
Yeah.
And we have a picture here of a previous caller, a previous text person from, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago because I was here.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, and what's the name? I left the house without my glasses, so I'm relying on Devon
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah, I
read
can read
these text messages. Who is it from?
This is from Dave in
Dave,
Bomar.
okay.
He has beans, pole beans, and a couple weeks ago he sent a picture in wanting to know what to do. His pole beans were so tall,
Yeah,
and they were
like
growing
7
up.
feet.
Yeah, growing up and beyond the trellis that he had for him. And so we just talked to him about turning those down carefully and weaving them back into the thing. But he was also, pole beans have a problem with Japanese beetle. It's gonna
Oh,
be
they
a
love Japanese.
Japanese beetle
Beetles
theme
just
today.
love pole beans.
I know, but they don't like bush beans, which is really odd to me.
strange. Yeah.
But so, anyways, he sent us a picture today that he solved 2 problems and created another one. He put netting over it, a fine mesh netting, and then that keeps the beans, growing and going back down the weight of the net, pushes the beans from growing up back to down into the trellis. And then the netting keeps the Japanese beetles off
Yes.
of it, but it also keeps the bees off from pollinating his beans. So
Yes.
he figured that problem out because he was not having any new beans growing.
That's right. And so I think maybe one of the things you could do is leave the net off 1 day a week or something like that
Maybe, yeah.
to let the bees do their job so you can continue to have a crop of beans to harvest.
Yeah.
Because it's not an easy job to go in and hand pollinate
I was going to
beans.
say, certain things like things in the pumpkin, squash, cucumber family.
Those are easy,
You can easily, tomatoes even are fairly easy if you had to pollinate them by hand using the spray and
Yeah, or just tapping.
tapping the tomatoes.
Yeah, because tomatoes are not insect pollinated.
Yeah.
Although you will see bees, bumblebees, and other things going to tomato flowers, but all they're really doing is vibrating the flower and causing the pollen to fall and pollinate itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's really no nectar there for them to collect. And I guess maybe they collect some of the pollen,
Yeah.
but they're not actually they're just,
Yeah. They're not pollinating
Yeah.
it. But beans would be a hard one. Because
Yeah.
anything in that pea family, bean family, has that particular type of flower.
that you've got to
Yeah,
get in. I mean, you have to force your
into
way
it.
in.
And
poor-
insects are
yeah.
much better at doing that.
Yes, they
bees.
are.
Native bees, regular
Yes.
honeybees.
Uh-huh.
So
I'm just wondering if there's a larger diameter mesh that wouldn't let the Japanese beetles through, but would let at least the smaller native bees through.
yeah,
That would be something to experiment with.
yeah, bird netting is too
Too big.
big.
It'll let the Japanese beetles through.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I had an interesting experience. I planted some cucumbers in some earth boxes. Against,
Cucumbers, you said? Okay,
cucumbers against a brick wall,
Oh,
an
yeah,
east-facing brick wall, and they struggled a bit. I think because they weren't used to that much sun and heat. So I had this really lightweight white seed guard fabric that I just sort of suspended over them for a few days. And as soon as I saw them perk back up and start putting out new growth, I took the seed guard fabric off and they were fine.
Yeah.
So
it's
a little
amazing.
bit of shade helps.
It's amazing, especially when you're trying to get seeds going a little bit later in the season once
Yeah.
it's already warmed up. That floating row cover or that seed guard fabric is so valuable. Like if you're trying to seed carrots right now, it's hard to even do it without that floating row cover.
And this stuff you can see through. I mean, you could probably read a newspaper through it.
Yeah.
It's that thin.
It is.
And I learned a trick using it. I was having problems with mosquitoes in my water barrel
Oh.
because I've got a square one, and so the lid is sort of hinged, and you open it up and you scoop it out and drop. Well, there's some openings where mosquitoes can get in even when the lid is closed. So I used that same netting, and keeps the mosquitoes out.
Interesting.
I'm still using the mosquito
I was going to
dunks,
say you can put.
but every time you add more water to that barrel, and usually on my
dilutes
watering day I'll refill the barrel if we haven't had enough rain to do it.
Yeah.
But it dilutes it. So the netting seems to work quite well.
Yep. Yep.
It doesn't get in the way.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that stuff is valuable. I a long time ago bought a huge roll of it, like 300 feet by whatever, 12 feet wide.
Yeah. Oh my.
Roll of it,
Yeah.
and I love it. I mean, I'll even use it as a soft hail protectant.
Yeah. Well, I know
in the
that
springtime.
the tree farm up in Longmont, they would buy. I remember when I was working for Garden Wise, they would buy 12 rolls at a time, and these were 500-foot rolls or something
Yeah.
like that. Anyway, and they'd use them to wrap trees because they sell a lot of
when
big
they
trees.
when they sell trees, so to protect them for the
Yeah.
drive home,
They
we used
wrap
to
the
do
foliage,
that.
yeah.
We used to do that in the nursery I worked at in Montana.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you would just bundle them up, and that just keeps the leaves from getting beat up when.
Yeah, because the tree farm's kind of out in the country, so
Yeah.
there's no way that you're going to buy a big tree and have it sticking out the back of your pickup or your car, and then drive home and not have those leaves get beat up.
Yeah.
So they just automatically wrap them with this stuff, and it's I think it's a really nice service.
Yeah, it is. We used to do that too,
Yeah.
and we used to save the old baling twine from when big bald and burlap trees were shipped, and spruces.
Yeah.
So we would cut all the baling twine off the trees, and we'd save that,
Oh,
and then we'd repurpose that to wrap the
tree.
yeah. Mhm.
All right, let's see. We've got looks like we've got Mike on the line right now. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
What's going on with you today?
Well, I planted a couple of the Sonic Bloom Weigelia from Proven Winners back in May,
Okay.
and they are doing really poorly. I try to be careful with watering. I use a moisture meter on them to hopefully not overdo it.
Mm-hmm.
They're planted on the west side of the house, and they get sun from probably around noonish till sundown. And I've run into some stuff online that says that they may be both more sensitive to sun here in Colorado.
Yeah.
Just
That's my first reaction is when people are wanting Weigelia, I usually recommend the reverse of what you just said. East side, morning sun, afternoon shade.
Yeah. And they certainly can be drama queens for the first year or
Yes.
two with water.
Uh-huh.
So I wouldn't even bother with a moisture meter. I would just be hand watering them. hand water, and at least soak them minimally 3 times a week. And, I would probably soak them 4 times a week.
Now, I have seen them grow beautifully in full sun like you're describing.
Yeah.
but it does take a year or 2 or 3 to get them established well enough where they can put up with that much light and heat and lack of humidity.
Yeah.
Our altitude here, Weigelias that will grow out in the full sun in South Carolina are not going to be. It's not the same condition a mile high.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, one of them is almost totally leafless now. Are they a total loss at this point, do you reckon? Or should I try and overwinter them and see if they'll bounce back next year?
Well, if you could erect some sort of a shade for them, a temporary shade, then see if you can get them to bounce back yet this summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm out like that frost fabric or the floating row cover, like Keith said. You can buy that in a garden center. That makes a great temporary shade. On a lazy day, I'll just take a patio chair and plop the patio chair over the plant. If it'll fit, if the shrubs are small enough. That's a quick, easy way to make shade. But
that's pretty dense shade. I try to do a little bit of shade so that when you finally do take the shade off, it's not a huge shock.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. And with this heat right now, you're really just trying to get it through this next month of heat.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay. All right. I'll put an umbrella over them or something.
Yeah.
There you go.
All righty. I really appreciate the help, and now I know.
Oh, our pleasure, Mike. Thanks for calling this morning. We appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
And
we love the show. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, I love what, I guess it's really pronounced Weigela.
It's Weigela. Yeah.
Yeah, but I've always known it as Weigelia.
Yeah.
And
Weigela.
so it's hard to.
There's no I in there.
No, it's just, it ends in A, not IA.
Yeah.
And so I've heard it pronounced Wiglia and.
Yeah, it's everything. And I saw the call come up, and I was like, "There's going to be a slight pause before he pronounces Weigela because it's a hard one."
It's a hard one to unlearn, and watching the British gardening shows. Oh, we got to take a break. I listen to the different pronunciations of clematis. We've always pronounced it clematis here. They pronounce it clematis. Clematis, all different kinds of, and they don't seem to care.
Yeah.
And everything there, potting soil, compost, anything in a bag, any dirt in a bag is compost.
It's compost. Yeah.
Even potting soil. Well, you just get some compost. Well, no, you're getting potting soil. It's not compost or compost.
Yeah, compost.
Yeah. Anyhow, we've got to take a break. Enough complaining about that. We've got lots of text messages to go through. And, we've got to take a quick break here on the Garden Wise Show, Legends 810.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. Save up to 35% on thousands of evergreen trees in all sizes. Choose from arborvitae, upright juniper, Austrian pine, Bosnian pine, mugo pine, limber pine, blue, spruce, Serbian spruce, and more. And huge savings on thousands of shrubs and perennials. The Array of Tree Sale. Come see.
I-25 to exit 235, then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
Well, summer is in full swing now, and look who's back. Those nasty Japanese beetles, and they're ready to wreak havoc on your garden.
If you're looking to successfully control Japanese beetles without damaging the environment, look no further than Beetle Gone from Phylum Bioproducts. Derived from a naturally occurring soil bacteria, Beetle Gone is the only organic solution that successfully controls those destructive beetle invaders. Just mix the powder with water and spray on your plants. Once ingested, they stop feeding and die. And since it's an organic BT product, rest assured it's a safe choice to use on your fruits and veggies in addition to your ornamental flowers and trees.
Not only does Beetle Gone work on adult Japanese beetles, it is completely safe to use around beneficials such as ladybugs, butterflies, and bees, and has no issues with water toxicity. Beetle Gone from Phylum Bioproducts. Target the pest and not the rest.
Well, hello, Mrs. Johnson. Nice to see you again. What's that you have in the bag?
It's my tomatoes. Just look at this. The bottom side of all the largest fruit is turning into a nasty brown color. It's gross. My family won't eat these. What am I going to do?
Okay, relax, Barbara. Your tomatoes have an easy-to-fix condition called blossom end rot. And you're right, it's nasty looking. But fortunately, it's not a disease, just a mild calcium deficiency, which is usually brought on by letting your plants get too dry between waterings. So I'm going to recommend you start using this Fertilome Yield Booster for tomatoes. This yield booster will supply the extra calcium your plants need to save the rest of your crop.
Is it easy to use? I don't want to have to mix anything.
You know, it couldn't be easier. Yield Booster comes pre-mixed in this handy trigger sprayer. All you have to do is spray the leaves and fruit weekly for at least 3 applications, and you'll have bigger, better tomatoes than ever before.
Oh, what a relief. Bill, you've made my day. Better give me 2 of those bottles of Fertilome Yield Booster. I have lots of tomato plants.
And you can find Fertilome Yield Booster at Jared's Nursery in Littleton, Nick's Garden Center and Farm Market in Aurora, the Tree Farm in Longmont, and other Fertilome dealers. And remember, if you're not satisfied with the Fertilome product for any reason, you can bring it back for an exchange or a full refund. Guaranteed.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. See what's on sale at thetreefarm.com. Choose from flowering trees, fruit trees, evergreen trees, trees for narrow spaces, windbreaks, and privacy screens. Or add color to your yard with ornamental trees, flowering shrubs, perennials, and more. The Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235. Then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
Alrighty, we are back to the Garden Wise Show, and we've got a couple of callers up. Who's first up there, Joe?
I think Lisa.
Lisa? All right. Good morning, Lisa. Thanks for calling the Garden Wise Show.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
You mentioned that you're battling mosquitoes, and so I was watching a YouTube video, and this was in the springtime, and what the Amish do in Pennsylvania is they have long-standing water areas like horse troughs and etc. It has to be like long-standing water in a dark container, because they say that if you use like a white container of water, it's not going to work. So there is this mosquito dunk or mosquito bits.
Right.
Yep.
That you can find, and it has a chemical in it that will kill the female larvae. So when are you familiar with this product?
Yeah, it's a bacterial product. That's BT is a particular kind of BT that works against not only mosquito larvae, but also fungus gnat larvae.
Yeah.
Exactly, and it's safe for dogs. It's safe for animals. So if your dog gets into it, or it's not going to harm anything. It's completely organic. So, but I put it out in a couple of dark, just 5-gallon buckets with water, and my mosquito population has been diminished by, I'd say, 90%.
Yeah, it works really great, and that's what he was talking about in his
his
rain barrels that he puts additionally in his rain barrels. But every time he fills it up, it dilutes the solution. But it's important, if you put those 5-gallon buckets out, to either put a mesh over the top of it, like some hardware cloth, or put a stick in it. So if you don't trap any.
Oh yeah, if something were to
animals.
fall into it, that has a way to get out without drowning.
Yeah. Yep.
But that works. It works in bird baths. Although you should be changing your bird bath water pretty much daily, which would prevent mosquitoes being a problem. Yeah. But any place where you've got standing water, like an ornamental pond in your backyard or a fountain, those mosquito dunks or mosquito bits work beautifully. And you'll find them at pretty much any garden center. I like to use the mosquito bits, which is they're little granules rather than the round dunks, on houseplants if you have fungus gnat problems, because that particular bacteria also kills the larva of fungus gnats.
Oh, interesting. So, I just picked these up It's on the lower shelf at Lowe's because I had
Okay.
to ask for it. I'm like, do you have mosquito bits? And they're like, no, but we have these. And so it's essentially the same. They look like a small donut.
Right.
And
Yeah.
you just throw it in the water, and it dissolves over a couple of months.
Right.
Yeah, it's the same thing. They
It's about a 30-day protection. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Okay, well, I just thought I'd call in and give my 2 cents.
I appreciate that, Lisa.
Thank you,
you.
Lisa. And we love to hear people's success stories.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Even
All
if
right.
it's success in killing things.
And the nice thing, it's not a chemical. It is a
Yeah.
bacteria. It's a live product.
Mm-hmm.
It's a live bacteria that actively takes care of those immature, that larval stage of mosquitoes.
Yeah.
And so they don't hatch out into adults.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, let's see, what else? Oh, and if you can't find mosquito bits, what I have found is you can take the dunks and put them in a plastic Ziploc bag or something like that and take a hammer to it.
Yeah, they crumble.
Yeah, they crumble pretty
It's
easily.
almost like they're compressed bits.
Yeah, almost like that, yeah.
Yeah.
And just scatter them on top of the soil of your houseplants and water them in. And, you don't have to worry about if I know my dogs will watch. They watch everything I do,
Yeah.
outside and inside.
They're
So I
so
have to be
curious.
careful. And if I'm putting mosquito bits or something on the surface of a houseplant, they're right there after me, checking it out, sniffing it, licking it, whatever.
Yeah.
It won't hurt them. So, and I was going to tell you my success story.
Oh, I love success
I have
stories.
I'm so pleased with this voles are a problem for me right now. I had no idea how many voles I had.
Ooh.
I thought I had maybe one or two. I have a lot of voles in my backyard. And those regular old little wooden mouse traps, with the spring-loaded thing, they break so easily. And on a large vole, it's not big enough. The large vole can either escape it or run away with it.
Yeah, I've
And I
felt
feel
that.
bad about that.
Yeah, me too.
So I bought these things online. They're a large rat trap. And it's the same sort of mechanism. They press the lever and this thing comes
trigger.
down and gets them. But they're big enough and strong enough that it kills them immediately.
Yeah.
And over the last 10 days, I have trapped 10
Oh,
voles.
goodness. See, you have a vole problem. I don't have a vole problem, but I do have a rat problem.
Okay.
And that sounds a little scary. But
Well, we have native rats,
we
wood
do,
rats.
and I
Uh-huh.
am down by the Highland Canal. So, I mean, we just have a population of them. Plus, I have chickens. Plus, I keep compost. And they are out of my chicken coop. But sometimes my chicken kicks food out of their coop and things like that. So,
Or if you have a bird feeder.
yeah, exactly. And so I just have them. So, yeah.
But these traps, I got them on Amazon because I haven't found them anyplace else. But I'll post. In fact, I did post
I was going
a
to say, you
picture.
posted a video.
A video online on my Facebook page there for the Garden Wise Show. And the way I use it, I bait them with peanut butter. But my dogs like peanut butter.
Sure.
And I don't want them to stick their face in that trap
Yeah.
because they'd lose their nose.
Yeah.
So I have these plastic, I call them bulb crates,
Yep.
those plastic mesh crates that bulbs come in. And I just turn that over upside down and there's a gap at the base where the vole can get in. And then I put a heavy rock on top so that
the
the dogs can't move it.
Yeah. And make sure if you're using peanut butter, especially if you do have dogs in your yard, if they can accidentally get into the crate, make sure your peanut butter is more of a natural peanut butter and doesn't contain xylitol.
Xylitol is bad for dogs.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
extremely poisonous to dogs.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So yeah, natural peanut butter.
Yeah.
Very, very good point there. But I am so pleased. So I'm still catching voles in the backyard. I don't know how many I'm going to catch just in the backyard. And then I've got to move to the front yard.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear your tally.
And I take the dead vole and I throw it outside on my property. I throw it outside the fence so the dogs can't get to them.
Sure.
But the local fox takes care of them, the dead ones,
Oh.
or the magpies.
Yeah.
we have some magpies in the neighborhood who are raising some young, and they're carnivorous. They will
certainly
eat
are.
that sort of thing. So
Which is great, and you're not poisoning them, so you don't
They're
have
not-
to worry
they're not
about
poison.
secondary poisoning
right,
of other animals. So
Right.
yeah, that sounds like an efficient way.
yeah, and it works, and it's. I can hear the traps go off
Oh,
because they're so loud.
yeah.
When that thing comes down, just smacks. You know? It's so satisfying.
Right, it
And
is.
it sounds cruel, but
Oh,
it makes
you'd
me happy.
You'd rather it be something quick.
Quick, yes, and no more cut off. I planted some beautiful Japanese forest grass, Hakanakloa.
Yeah, love that grass.
Well, so do voles.
Do they?
I went and looked
okay.
at them the other day, and they were dried up and crispy. And I went to pull them aside to see what was going on, and they had no roots. They were just chopped off underground.
Interesting.
So I can't plant that plant, and
that's
I like
sad.
that plant.
I like that plant too. I planted 3 for a client long ago, and I kid you not, that clump of 3 grasses grew to be about 5 feet in diameter. It was just ginormous.
Yeah.
It was so pretty.
And it's nice and short.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't take up a lot of space vertically, but it has that nice flowing.
Yeah. It has a great texture and a great
Yeah.
color.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of has a limey green foliage color. You can get it in different.
With a green stripe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit different.
And then it likes a shadier spot.
Sure.
And there aren't
And
that
it
many
does like
grasses.
it does like some moisture.
Yeah. There aren't that many grasses that will take much shade.
Yeah.
So that's a nice one. If you don't have voles,
Yeah. Oh goodness.
I'm overdoing the vole thing, I think. Let's see who we got here. Is that Joe? Yeah, we've got Joe on the line. Good morning, Joe.
Morning. I heard you talking about tomatoes and pollination, and what I did this year, I was so concerned about a possible hailstorm.
Sure.
I took some window screen. In fact, I had some of that. It's not the metal; it's like the black, but it's window screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of sewed 2 together. I think they're 3 feet wide, so they hang down each side of the tomato cages. Now, my question is, will pollinators or whatever needs to get in there and shake the blossom or whatever, do that? Will they go kind of up and under that? And also, will it shade the tomatoes too much and harm them?
Oh, well, those are both good questions.
They're very good questions.
How much are the tomatoes in full sun?
Yes.
Okay, so I don't think the screen is going to give them too much shade.
No, and sometimes when tomatoes are in full, hot, sunny area, a little bit of shade's good for them.
Right.
Okay.
And wind will do the same thing as the pollinators, as long as that plant gets a good shake.
Yeah.
Or you can go out there and just grab the stems and shake the plant.
Yep.
I was wondering about that, yeah. So their whole process of what male and female are kind of all on the same plant, so they just have to...
They're all in the same
pollinate
flower.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the male and female parts are all within the same flower.
Yep.
Okay, good. Well, I was just a little worried by trying to protect from hail that I was causing other problems.
Yeah.
Sure.
But,
Sure.
And my tomatoes are really slow. I've had 2 romas, and that's it.
Oh.
So anyway,
That sounds
but the
pretty
plants-
successful to me.
but it's July. It seems like they should be coming on more. So
Well,
anyway.
it was a cold May and a fairly cool early June, so I think
Yeah.
that set a lot of things back.
Yeah.
And the
Well, I
heat
was
and
putting buckets over them for a long time when it
Yeah.
got chilly at night.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. Thanks for the answers.
You bet,
Thanks,
Joe. Thanks for
Joe.
calling. Yeah, it's been
It's
been
been
a
a
slow
funny
garden year. I mean, my squash was taking forever, and Joe, are you going to play music ahead of time, or you going to give me some kind of?
Great.
We got 20 seconds. Okay. Oh, tell music. All right. So, yeah, my cucumbers are slow. My squash is slow. Everything is just really not moving
Yeah,
along like
yeah,
I
everything of
expect it
mine
to.
is just
But I was also kind of late planting things.
I was late planting things too. Sometimes my spring gets a little out of control. My vegetable garden is getting love from me this weekend.
Okay, well, good. I just seeded some bush beans a week ago.
I'm seeding some this weekend.
Yeah, and there's still time for
Yeah,
bush beans.
there
It'll
is.
be September probably before I harvest, but that's fine. I don't care. They're still good.
They are.
Okay, that music means we've got to get out of here for just a little bit at the top of the hour for station identification and all that good stuff. But we'll be back for the second hour of the Garden Wise show, so don't go away. Go get yourself a nice bowl of cereal or a nice hot cup of coffee or whatever it is that you do in the morning, a mimosa, a Bloody Mary, I don't care. But stick tuned for the second hour of the Garden Wise show. We'll be back real quick on this station, which is called Legends 810.
This is KLVZ, 810 AM and HD, Brighton, Denver. KLVZ FM, 94.3 and 95.3. Streaming at legends953.com.
Welcome to the Garden Wise Show with Colorado's most knowledgeable and entertaining garden experts with host Keith Funk, the Garden Wise Guy. Get ready for gardening tips that you can use right now. New plants, hot products, and the latest from horticultural science. The phone lines are open, so call into the Legend Studio now. 303-477-2473. That's 303-477-2473. Or text your questions and photos to 303-477-5600. That's 303-477-5600. On the air since 1994, Keith and his guests have been answering your questions about gardening in the high-altitude desert of the Colorado Front Range. And now, here's your host, Keith Funk, the Garden Wise Guy.
Now, see, I told you it wouldn't take long. It was a short little break.
That's always a short one.
Yeah, and we've got some interesting text messages to go through.
Yeah.
Let's start with the hydrangea.
Oh, yes. We've got a picture of, it looks like a macrophylla, hydrangea macrophylla.
Or big leaf.
Yep,
Yeah.
big leaf hydrangea. You see them a lot. Some call them like florist hydrangeas.
Or
but
Mother's Day hydrangea.
Yes, they're the
yeah.
ones that come in all the beautiful colors.
Yeah, especially the blue.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the blue hydrangea.
Yeah.
But they also come in pink and that sort of thing. They have a large leaf that's different than some of the other hydrangeas. There's really three groups of hydrangeas that I look at. The big leaf are the macrophylla types, which I don't like. The paniculata types, or they're also called PG, P-E-E-G-E-E, and there's lots of varieties.
Yep.
And they grow like a weed here.
Yeah,
They're
they do
wonderful.
great. They're one of the most successful.
And they like sunny spots.
Yep.
And then there's the Annabelle types, or the arborescens types, that prefer some shade. I've seen them grown in full sun as well.
Yeah, I see them. It just depends, again, on water. You know?
It does.
Yep.
But the macrophylla types, the big leaf type with the blue flowers and that sort of thing, that's a shade plant.
Yeah.
It wants, it'll take some morning sun, but it's definitely going to want afternoon shade. It likes a fairly acidic soil, especially if you want the blue color.
Yeah.
We don't have acidic soil.
We don't.
We have alkaline soil.
And we have alkaline water.
And so you're going to be fighting that pH till the day you die or the day the plant dies, which will probably come first.
And I find that even the bigger problem with them is they bloom on old wood.
Right.
And in our climate, those things die back to the ground. I don't care how protected you make it, they died back to the ground. And so they only have new wood.
Right. So what's happening is, much like lilacs and forsythia and other spring blooming things, that type of hydrangea sets its flower buds in late summer and fall this year to flower next year.
Yeah.
And if they die to the ground because we have a bad winter or what have you, and they're sort of just marginal here to begin with, you've lost the flower buds for that year.
Yeah. And sometimes at the very, very end of the next following growing season, you might get a really weak blossom or two on it.
The day before it freezes.
But they're weak. And so really you just get a half alive green shrub.
Yeah.
So.
So they'll come back with beautiful foliage, but you're not going to see much of any
Yeah.
flowers the next year.
But, and I'll show Keith this picture.
Oh, it is pretty.
I will plant them in containers.
And just treat them as an annual,
And just
like a
treat them
geranium.
as an annual. Yeah. Because they can be fairly reasonable. I mean, you can spend a lot of money planting annuals in your container.
Uh-huh.
And you can pick sometimes up some of these hydrangeas up for $35. And, they're good size. And it fills the container.
The whole container.
And they bloom. The flowers individually stay on there for a long time. And then when they fade, they usually fade to like a different color, like a rusty color or whatever. And so treat them like an annual.
Now, what I'm going to try this year, I bought one called Eclipse, which has deep burgundy foliage.
I saw that one on your patio.
Yeah, and it's a macrophylla type. It's a big leaf type.
Yeah.
It's on the north side. It gets shade all day.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to try wintering it over in the pot, and once it loses its leaves this fall, I'm going to move it into the garage.
Oh, the garage. That's a great idea.
And keep it in the garage for the winter, watering it on a regular basis because they're not going to want to dry out.
Yeah.
And see if I can't winter it through that way because I have room in my garage for that sort of thing.
Yeah.
It'll just be an experiment. I've tried it with Japanese maples, not terribly successfully. I'm not real hopeful on this hydrangea wintering it that way, but
it's such a pretty one.
Sometimes you get some surprises in life.
Yeah, and it has like a dark, like pink flower, didn't it? With burgundy leaves.
Yeah,
It's a really pretty variety.
It was a deep pink flower with a white center.
Yeah. It's a really neat one.
It had dozens of flowers on it, and it lasted for months. And you could treat it as an annual, but I'm going to see if I can't winter it through just because.
Yeah, I got. It was the year of the hydrangea for me, so I have 2 in my front pots. I bought hanging basket hydrangeas. And of course, these are all macrophyllas.
Uh-huh.
I've got 2 really cool bluish ones that now their flowers faded to a lime green, which is still really interesting and fun for me in my front.
Uh-huh.
And then I got these really cool, like a bridal veil macrophyllas from Proven Winners in my back patio that have just they're a trailing hydrangea.
And are they continuing to produce flowers?
Continuing. They're not as lush and as full as when I first bought them, but they do. As they put out that new growth, they were blooming. They kept blooming.
Okay.
So those ones I'm going to overwinter somehow. Whether I overwinter them in my greenhouse, I have huge success overwintering things like that in my greenhouse.
Of course,
because it does get cold enough in there, but like this last winter, it didn't get much below 40 degrees.
Yeah.
But in past years, if you got a cold winter, it gets down to 20, which is perfect.
That's fine. Yeah, because a lot of these plants have to have a winter.
They do. So I think I'm going to either plant them in the ground and see what they do or try to overwinter them in my greenhouse.
And then there's a fourth type of hydrangea. They call them the mountain hydrangeas. I can't think of the name. It starts with an S. Hydrangea
I don't
serrata or something like that.
If my sister was listening to me, she'd cringe.
And I'm finding that one will bloom on new wood in a kind of a shady spot.
They are ones that will do shade.
But it takes them forever. I mean, it's late summer before they bloom, but it has a nice pink flower. So the breeders are coming out with some really interesting things, and to keep
like
track
tough
of.
stuff. Tough
stuff.
is
Yes,
a mountain hydrangea.
Yeah, that's a good one, and it comes in a series of colors, as I recall. Let's see. What we got over here with some of these text messages here.
Oh, yeah.
What's this? The cucumber one.
Yeah, the cucumber one. So the text message reads, "Good morning. I have a lot of buds on my burpless cucumber. Will they produce? I enjoy your show and loved your garden a few weeks ago. Pat in Highlands Ranch."
Oh, okay. So, Pat, for everybody else listening, the picture that we're looking at is a potted cucumber growing up a tomato cage. And the foliage looks beautiful, and there's flowers all over it. And yes, I see fruit on it.
Yeah, we actually towards the upper left of the photo, we actually see little cucumbers forming. So
Yes. Now, the one thing that people don't always remember or realize is that whole family, cucumbers, squash, melons, gourds,
Yep.
they produce separate male and female flowers
Yep.
on the same plant. So what happens with especially cucumbers, the first flowers they produce of the season are all male.
Yep.
Well, male flowers can't set fruit.
Nope.
But then after about 10 days or so, then the plant will start producing female flowers.
Yeah.
And you can always tell a female flower because it has a little preformed fruit right behind the flower.
Yep, it's a little
Mini cucumber.
little mini plant.
Yeah. A little mini cucumber or a little mini squash or a little mini pumpkin, depending on what you're growing.
And those are pollinator. They are pollinated by insects.
Yes.
I find wasps are a huge pollinator on that whole family.
Yeah, wasps and hoverflies.
Yeah.
And you can do it yourself. You can find a male flower
Yep.
and pick the male flower and go around and shove it into the female flower and swish it around,
Yep.
and you can be the pollinator yourself if you're
Yeah.
not seeing bees or anything else doing the pollinating.
Yeah. And this particular person is growing theirs in a pot, in a container. You have to remember when growing vegetables in containers, fertilize.
Yes. And those leaves look very healthy.
Yeah.
They got a nice color, they got a nice size.
No powdery mildew, knock on wood for you.
So you probably have them in the right amount of light.
Yeah.
But like you said, feeding anything in a container, I don't care if it's a flower or a vegetable or a tree or a shrub or a rose, I don't care what it is, if it's in a container and you're watering it, you're having to water it pretty regularly, you're rinsing nutrients out of the soil.
Yeah.
So it's just like a small, 3-month-old baby. You've got to be feeding it
Yeah.
on a regular basis.
Regularly.
Yeah, because it's relying on you. It doesn't have the root room to run out into the ground looking for, I'm anthropomorphizing here, looking for nutrients in your native soil. So you've got to put those nutrients into the pot.
Yep.
On a regular basis. I like to feed weekly.
Yep.
Is my
I love that.
yeah. So, half strength fertilizer on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
That works fine for me. I also use Osmocote on some of the bigger pots because some of those plants are going to get enormous. And the Osmocote helps, and then I'll supplement with a water soluble too when they get bigger.
Yep. I'm going to read this next text message coming up because
okay.
it's in my neighborhood.
Oh, all right.
I don't have the name, but hello, neighbor. This is our neighborhood watch, and it's a picture of a front yard with a whole bunch of turkeys in it. Looks like they're at University in Floyd, and it said, our neighbor said they probably came from Eisenhower Park or Welshire Golf Course. So, we've had a neighborhood explosion of turkeys. I mean, explosion meaning there's probably like 20 total, but
That's a lot.
yeah. So really what it is they're coming in on the Highland Canal Trail. And that is a big fairway for animals that we would normally not see in our neighborhood. They come in through those kind of nature type trails. So we get coyotes that come in, foxes that live regularly along that trail.
Which is good.
Yeah, and we get deer in our neighborhood sometimes too that'll come in on that trail. And we've had an occasional bear as well.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So, it's kind of funny to see. It's so funny because, I have a client that has a property down in Castle Pines, and they regularly have turkeys. So I see them regularly. But when I see one in my neighborhood, I'm always like, a turkey!
What's it doing in the middle of the city?
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, and they're
And it looks like
setting
a
up a
family.
population. Yeah.
Because look, those are the small ones, and then there's a big one, and then there's little small ones
Yes.
around it. So it looks like a whole family of them.
Yeah, so I think we're starting maybe to establish a population. And you have to remember, too, in years with severe drought, like we had a severe drought this winter, and then severe drought, going on now, they're going to go in where plants are. They're going to find food where plants are more lush. There's more insects, things like that. So
Yeah, and they're scratchers.
yeah, oh God, they make a mess.
They go through there and scratch stuff up.
And they, eat plants.
What do we got here?
Good morning. Keith, can you help me with my tomato plant? I've noticed it on 2 of my Goliath tomatoes. I've been cutting these stems off as I see them. I am watering every other day during this hot weather. Thank you. I enjoy your show.
All right. And what we're looking at is, well, how would you describe, the majority of the tomato looks really happy, big and healthy, good color, that sort of thing. But then there's a leaf or two that's shriveled, kind of a grayish color, very distorted foliage. I think you're doing the right thing by removing that foliage when you see it, and not putting it in your compost pile, making sure you put it into the trash.
Yeah. And I think it might be a good idea. If you're picking them off with your finger, that's one thing. But if you're cutting it off, I would also dunk your snips in a little bit of rubbing alcohol to just in case.
Disinfect it.
There's so many viruses and wilts and bacteria problems that tomatoes can get, blights, that it's just not a bad idea. It's hard to tell exactly what it could be from this photo. Even hot temperatures this time of year can cause some really weird, funky tomato leaf growth.
Yeah. But I would, just remove the affected foliage as you see it. Yeah.
That almost looks,
Looks
hard
what?
to tell.
It looks mildewy to me.
Well, I was going to say that too. It almost looks like this right here is what looks powdery mildewy to me too.
Yeah.
Tomatoes aren't
Or
really,
downy mildew.
Yeah, it kind of did look like downy mildew.
Yeah. But then the foliage around it is absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. Make sure when you're watering, water from the base, and thinning some of your leaves out on the inside of your tomato plants can help with some airflow.
Yes.
You do have to be careful of taking too many leaves out of your tomatoes, because then if you start getting fruit, it can cause some scorching on your fruit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do thin mine out, especially this time of year.
Yeah, it does help with airflow.
And-
but
and-
like you said, you don't want to expose your existing fruit to direct sun if they've been in the shade, because it can scorch the skin.
And
on
I
the-
always
on the
try
fruit.
to make sure I pick up the leaves closest to the ground too.
Get them
Because
away.
and then always water at the base if you can. So all of those little tips and tricks to help spread diseases and things like powdery mildew.
Yeah. And things like powdery mildew, the spores are in the air. They're floating around. They're everywhere. It's like bread mold. It's very opportunistic.
Yeah.
It'll come in, and if the conditions are correct, which is moisture on the foliage, and that is usually a situation where you've gotten moisture on the foliage maybe in the evening, and they go through the entire night wet. That's perfect for mildew.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you can't control dew that happens at night, and that's another one, especially on lilacs. It's a big one for lilacs to getting mildew.
Yeah. And some plants just get it. That's just part
Monarda,
of it.
some of the garden
yeah.
phlox.
Yeah. Speaking of Monarda, you have, and I took a picture, you have this beautiful in your front yard mix of a red Monarda and then the goose strife, that white.
The gooseneck loosestrife?
Yeah, the gooseneck loosestrife. Yeah. It was such a pretty combo in your yard.
I'm killing it.
Which I'm
killing it
loosestrife
all.
Or the Monarda?
The Monarda and the loosestrife.
Oh, it was
and
so
that
pretty.
and that aster that's coming up in the middle of it all.
Yeah.
It is just a garden thug. I wish I'd never planted it. That red Monarda is such a spreader.
It is.
It just takes over. I think it's one called Cambridge Red.
You have several thugs in your garden, and I was gonna talk to you about that. How you're keeping some of those thugs in check.
Oh, like what?
You had that. Well, you have the loosestrife too, the
Yeah.
gooseneck loosestrife in your backyard, and that large
Polygonum
in the back. That thing I've had on properties before and have been scary, like tree of heaven scary. And I was like, is it just staying under control because you have it so densely planted?
No, it's a particular variety called polymorpha.
Yeah.
Polygonum polymorpha, which doesn't run.
Okay.
The clump will get bigger each year, and when it gets out of control, I just go through and pull individual stems that I don't, like their placement.
Yeah, but it doesn't. Oh.
It doesn't run like the Japanese fleece flower that'll grow like bamboo, and it just
that
it
thing
takes
is scary.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would recommend never ever planting that gooseneck loosestrife.
Yeah.
It's
loosestrife
it's
in general
horrible.
is
horrible.
a spreader.
Oh my gosh, it's a pretty plant.
Oh, it is.
And I
so
suppose
it's
if I had
blooming well right now.
if I had a raised cement, but it's only pretty for a couple of weeks, and then it's just plain green and nothing special about it. So, I don't know what I was thinking when I put it in the ground.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's pretty right now. I got to see it at its prime.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you did. So, anywho, there you go. What else we got on the text messages there?
Oh,
kid?
should we-
Wait a minute. We got to take a break. So
Yeah.
we'll check out these text messages while we are on this break. Make my mouth work with my brain. And I just want to remind you're listening to the Garden Wise Show. This is Legends 810.
It's like the difference between soft, gentle rain and a monsoon. That's how I compare the effect of a dram rain wand on plants to the hard blast of a typical spray nozzle attachment to your garden hose. Water flows through 400 tiny holes in the dram rain wand's soft shower nozzle to bathe and refresh your plants, not damage them or wash away soil. Its handy reach handle has a 60-degree bend and conveniently extends to more distant garden rows and hanging baskets. And there's a fingertip shutoff valve. No wonder professional growers in the greenhouses and nurseries use dram watering tools. Today, there are imitators, but nothing matches the superior quality of the original, invented over 50 years ago. They're simply the best. Dram watering tools are available at Tagawa Gardens in Centennial, Nick's Garden Center in Aurora, and Jared's Garden Center in Littleton.
Gardening in Colorado seems to come with a few challenges, but if your flower beds, vegetable garden, or patio pots are unfinished, don't worry. Jared's can help you create your dream garden this season. While a few vegetables may be past their planting window, there's still time for favorites like beans, cucumbers, squash, and more. Jared's Nursery Gift and Garden Center has a great selection of fresh bedding plants, along with experienced, friendly staff to help you get growing. Need instant color? Choose from beautiful patio pots and hanging baskets that make an immediate impact. And with Japanese beetles already beginning to appear, now is the time to protect your landscape. Jared's offers effective solutions for Japanese beetles, as well as products to help safeguard your ash trees from the emerald ash borer, which is now confirmed in the Denver area. If bugs, diseases, or gardening questions are getting in the way, stop by and talk to the experts at Jared's Nursery Gift and Garden. Their goal is simple: to help you enjoy your best gardening season ever and create the beautiful landscape you've always wanted. Jared's Nursery Gift and Garden Center, family owned and serving Colorado for 48 years, located at 10500 West Bowles Avenue. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 6, and weekends from 9 to 5.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. See what's on sale at thetreefarm.com. Save 25 to 45% on thousands of 3 to 8-year-old shade and flowering trees. Choose from honey locust, linden, maple, oak, flowering crabapple, serviceberry, willow, and more. And save big on thousands of shrubs and perennials. The Array of Tree Sale. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235. Then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
Summer savings are in full bloom at the gardens at Highlands Ranch. If your yard could use a midsummer refresh, now is the perfect time to visit your neighborhood garden center. Right now, save 50% on select evergreens while supplies last. Then celebrate America's 250th birthday with 25% off store-wide July 3rd through the 5th. Looking to brighten your home? Save 40% on home decor July 8th through the 10th. And July 15th through the 17th, enjoy 20% off annuals and perennials to keep your landscape blooming all season long. You'll also find sale items throughout the store, plus free gardening classes every Saturday at 11 a.m. Learn from the experts and get answers to your gardening questions. Need help keeping your lawn and garden healthy during Colorado's dry summer? Ask about Revive products, designed to improve water retention in your grass and garden. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just getting started, the knowledgeable staff at the Gardens at Highlands Ranch is ready to help with all your gardening needs. Visit the Gardens at Highlands Ranch today, where something new is always blooming.
Okay, back we are to the Garden Wise Show, and we've got a couple of text messages that we thought were really kind of unique.
Yeah.
One of them was an alternative to a Japanese beetle trap. And this person has taken like a 5-gallon, I suppose, Home Depot sort of bucket
Yeah.
and put soapy water at the bottom.
Yeah. Like 3 to 5 inches of soapy water at the bottom. She got this from Harlequin Gardens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this
up
method.
in Boulder.
Yeah.
And then just take the beetle trap lure
Yep.
and attach it a few inches down from the lid, from the rim of the bucket.
Yeah,
and
they
the
said, I think,
beetles
3
come in
inches.
after the lure hit the side of the bucket and fall into the soapy water.
Yep.
And then they're just easy to scoop out.
Yeah, you're using like a strainer, or you could use like maybe like a fishbowl, like little
A net or something like that.
to scoop them out.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or your fingers.
I don't like, I am not weirded out by many bugs,
Yeah.
but Japanese beetles have these like little Velcro-y legs.
I
and they
know.
crawl, and they kind
Ugh.
of stick to you, and they just, I don't know what
They
it is.
creep me out.
They give me the EBGBs.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with all bugs, and I'm fine with the beetle themselves. I just don't like them crawling on me. I picked one out of my hair yesterday, which is not uncommon.
And then I did hear, you've heard in the past, don't crush the beetles, don't stomp on them or what have you, because they release a pheromone that attracts other beetles to the area. And I've always wondered whether that was true. When John from Phylum was on the other day, I asked him about that, and he said, yes, a live beetle will send out signals to its other beetles in the area saying, hey, I found something to eat over here. Come on over here.
Yeah.
And so I suppose if you crush the beetle, it's going to release that same chemical into the air.
Yeah.
So I suppose you should avoid smashing Japanese beetles.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't looked into that whether that's a thing or not. So, but you also had a good idea that somebody had kind of done something similar where they made kind of like a funnel or out of PVC pipe or something, and then hung the pheromone trap into that, and then the tube went down to a tray with water in it. So their chickens in their chicken coop, so their chicken could eat them, keep up with the population of them.
Yeah, they had been using bags, and then when you dump the bag out for the chickens, well, they can't eat the beetles fast enough because not all the beetles are dead.
Yeah, and they
fly away. So he put the pheromone at the very top, and this PVC pipe running down to a saucer of water, and so the beetles would fall down that pipe, 1 or 2 or 3 at a time, and the chicken could keep up.
Yeah, that's fun. And they love beetles.
Yeah, and ducks do too.
Yeah, they do.
And I bet turkeys would eat beetles.
They would.
I know my magpies will.
Well, and that's, sometimes I wonder, like, if that's why I just don't have much of a beetle problem, is because, I have lots of magpies.
We have a nest of them in the neighbor's yard.
I love that.
So I think that's
some people
that's been
don't like
helpful.
them because they're kind of a nuisancey, annoying bird, but
Yeah, my wife and I were sitting out on the back deck, and it was sitting out there making its noise, and after about 30 minutes, my wife looked at me and said, "Can you shoot that bird or something? It's really annoying."
Yeah.
I said,
They tend to not bother me too much. Do you know what a group of magpies is called?
I know what a group of crows is called.
Yeah,
a
they're
murder.
called a murder. This is so fitting. Are you ready for this? Okay,
Yeah.
a group of magpies are called a mischief of magpies.
A mischief. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like
Which is so true because they are such a ornery little bird.
Hey, you can give us a call here at 303-477-2473. That's our number to call, and the lines are open right now, so you shouldn't have any trouble whatsoever getting in. What is this last
They have two questions for you.
Okay.
Number one, I seem to have a lot of insects flying out of my lawn when I walk around. Some could be white flies. Is there a spray I could use to get rid of them? That's question one. Question two, is there a spray that would kill the wide blade grass that grows in the parks but won't hurt the bluegrass? Two different questions.
Okay. Well, let's do the easy one first. Number two is no.
Yeah.
There is not a spray that's going to be able to tell the difference between one wide-bladed grass and your lawn, unless that wide-bladed grass is crabgrass. There is a selective crabgrass spray, but you'll want to make sure that you get it identified first.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
dig up a piece of that wide-bladed grass, roots and all, and take it into your local garden center and have them identify it.
Yeah. That's starting to set seed right now.
Yes,
I've
it
noticed
is.
that.
Now, crabgrass has it has a very distinctive pattern of growing in this pinwheel effect, flat to the ground.
Yeah, it's a prostrate growing
Yes.
grass.
And then it sends up these little plumes,
Seed heads.
seed heads that look like goose feet.
And they are just under the mowing height, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so they can take over a lawn area. It's just an annual grass. So you can better control that grass by just putting a pre-emergent down in your lawn in the springtime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the crabgrass, that plant will die in the winter and then comes up from seed rather than roots.
Yep. Yep.
So, okay, the first part of the question then was these little insects flying in the lawn more than likely are leafhoppers.
Yeah. Yep.
Which is pretty common this time of year. They do cause some speckling on the foliage of the lawn. They're typically not all that harmful, but they can be annoying, especially if they get in your face, like up your nose or in your ear or your mouth or your eyes. Yeah, anyway. What to spray? There's so many things that live in a lawn. I mean, I see all these stupid, and I'm going to call them stupid articles saying that lawns are a desolate, lifeless desert.
Yeah.
And that is the farthest thing from the truth.
Yeah.
They are full of life. All you have to do is get on your hands and knees and get down in there and look, and you'll find all kinds of life, not only above the ground, but below the ground. It sequesters carbon. It releases oxygen. It cools the air. It does all kinds of positive things. Now,
They're hosts for a lot of things like roly-polies that help break down, like the brown
centipedes, millipedes. Yeah. So I find that lawns are not the evil, horrible thing. Now, maybe 3 acres of lawn is unnecessary. But I have my patch of lawn in the backyard, and I love it.
Yeah.
And it's not full of pesticides. I don't spray it with anything.
I don't either.
I put an organic fertilizer down once a month. The dogs absolutely adore that lawn.
Yeah, and we both have dogs. Like, there'd be no way I could do my yard for the dogs without the lawn.
Right. I mean, how can you play catch with your dog in the middle of a flower bed or a vegetable garden?
You just can't.
You can't.
They need to be able to run around.
And that's just for dogs. I mean, if you have small children, they need a play area too. You can't always just leave the house and take them to a park somewhere.
Yeah.
So
I think lawns are very valuable. Probably their biggest thing in our climate is that, they like a little bit more water. Like, my lawn is showing a little stress versus my flower beds that aren't showing nearly as much stress. But, they need a little bit more water. But then don't have any lawn in your front yard.
The lawn also, the root system filters water, rainwater.
Yeah.
It filters out toxins and that sort
Well,
of thing.
also, and it helps decrease runoff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so, I mean.
No, I'm really offended by these articles that I see all the time in Facebook talking about how lawns are such a desolate, lifeless desert that, are filled with toxins and would spend all this time and money and effort, blah, blah, blah. Well, I spend a lot of time and money and effort on my perennial beds and vegetable gardens, and that's not evil.
Yeah.
And they take water too.
They do.
So anyway, enough of that soapbox.
I was going to say he's on a soapbox.
But back to these leaf hoppers, or these little insects that are flying about.
Yeah.
You know, if they're not bothering you, I wouldn't bother them.
Nope.
They're a food source for another
little bird,
a bird or another insect that eats them. They're part of a life cycle.
Yeah.
I would leave them alone. They're not harming your lawn.
No.
But if they are bothering you, if you like to get down on the ground and roll around in the grass and they're getting into your face and that sort of thing, you might look at some sort of an herbal, like a rosemary, or there are several different types of sprays out there that use mints and rosemaries and sage and things like that. That could be more of a repellent rather than a killer.
Yeah.
And it would also be safe for you then to walk around barefoot, and your dogs and children and that sort of thing to play in the grass. But to spray a toxic chemical, I just try to avoid that. And I find myself kind of wondering what I'm saying, because I'm a better living through chemistry kind of guy. But when you don't have to use it, don't.
Well, in broad range, right? I struggle with that, and there's sometimes it's necessary, and I would never say never use anything, because there's sometimes it is necessary to use something like a systemic insecticide, or something like 8 or triple action. So it's not that I don't recommend those when it's needed, but if it's not causing a ton of damage, to me it's not necessary then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a product out there that Fertilome makes. It comes in a bag. It's a granular. It's called Grasshopper Go, and it is a cedar granule. And cedar is known for being an insect repellent.
Yeah.
And so that could be something that you could scatter in the lawn.
Try to see if that would
if that would repel those insects and move them to a different area.
Yeah.
And by being non-toxic, and it smells good.
Yeah.
It smells great.
That's got great potential.
Yeah. So there you go. Hopefully that helps answer that question. Do we have another one?
Could you please educate me on garden fertilizers? When I go to look at fertilizers at the store, I get confused. What's the difference between what vegetables need versus what flowers need? And I have a hard time trying to determine what difference in price means too.
Oh, okay.
If they have the same ingredients, why are some more expensive than others? Marketing.
Marketing, shipping.
Yeah.
Some things like Espoma, they're made on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And it has to be shipped all the way over here.
Yep.
Other things like Rich Lawn, Pro Rich, Grow Rich, that's made right here in Colorado in Platteville.
Yeah.
So it's going to be less expensive because there are less miles involved with it.
Yeah.
Sometimes the ingredients that are in them can be more expensive than others.
Yeah.
Some of the higher tech ingredients in, say, some of the Scott's products that can be fairly high tech, and they're expensive to produce, and so you end up paying for that.
Yep.
So that's the reason for the price change, the price differences. Organics are usually more expensive per square foot application because you have to use more of them. They're lower nutrient content than the synthetic fertilizers.
Yeah.
So per square foot, organic products are typically more expensive to use as a fertilizer.
Sure.
But they're also more environmentally friendly. They feed the soil as well as the plants. They're slow release. So they have a lot of benefits involved.
And she did follow that text message up with, I did put a fertilizer in my dirt before I planted my pots, and I continue to use water-soluble fertilizers with every watering, as my flowers are quite large and in a 17 pots mostly. But they seem to really need that. What kind of fertilizers that's water-soluble do you recommend?
My personal go-to is the Fertilome 20-20-20.
Yep.
General purpose or all-purpose fertilizer.
That's a great one.
And it has all the nutrients in it that the plant needs, and it'll pick up whatever it's needing at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
It's just a well-rounded, formulated one.
Now, a lot of times your vegetable garden fertilizers are a little lower in nitrogen because all the books, and I'm using air quotes here, the big experts out there say, don't overfeed your vegetables with nitrogen because it causes lots of leaf growth and no flowers. And my response to that is don't overfeed your plants with any nutrient.
Yeah.
Not just nitrogen. Know what your soil needs. And the only way you're going to know that is by doing a soil test.
Yeah.
And so then you can replace the nutrients that your soil needs. And here in Colorado, I have found, and I used to work for the Extension Service, I saw thousands of soil tests that ran through CSU, and nitrogen was nearly always the missing component. We have phosphorus, we have calcium, we have potash, we have so many micronutrients in our soils, especially if you have a clay soil. Now, sandy soils are usually much, much less fertile.
Yeah.
And so you'll have to do, like, say, out here in the Aurora area, there's a lot of sandy soils. And so those sorts of soils need fertilizer on a more regular basis.
Yeah.
And I highly recommend organic fertilizers there because, like I said, they're slow release. They stay in the soil. They help feed the soil biome and make for a healthier situation.
Yeah, they can help build up a better soil,
Mhm.
the organic matter in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does that answer the question?
Yeah.
Did I answer all the bits and parts?
Yeah, I think so.
I think a lot of fertilizers out there, the different analysis and that sort of thing, does come down to marketing.
It is, yeah. Yeah.
And-
If they can get you to buy 10 different types of fertilizer
Yeah.
versus just buying one, they just think about how much more product they sell. And some of them are more expensive than the others. So
And I can see buying an acid-loving fertilizer
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
plants that like acid, like gardenias and citrus and camellias, azaleas, rhododendrons. They all want the acidic fertilizer.
Yeah.
So there is a reason to buy a specialty fertilizer.
Yeah. And sometimes I'll buy a fertilizer for my containers,
Mhm.
and then I'll buy an organic fertilizer, specifically organic fertilizer for my vegetable garden.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So I mean, there might be a chance to have a couple different varieties there, but
But I typically focus on the nitrogen content.
yeah,
I don't usually use fertilizers with a low nitrogen content because our soils are so devoid of nitrogen.
yeah, exactly.
But again, the only way you're going to know that,
Testing.
testing.
Yeah, and you can use the over-the-counter ones that you're getting from the garden centers,
Mhm.
but to have a more complete analysis, it's best to send a sample in to the county extension.
Yes, and you can get those kits from the CSU Extension office in your county. A lot of the garden centers have them, and they're free at the garden center, but then when you send in your sample, you have to pay CSU to do the test.
It's so reasonable, though. I
It
don't
is.
know what it's running right now. It used to run $30,
That's about the
$35
same,
for the
yeah.
longest time, but I mean that's so reasonable because they don't just give you nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. They give you the whole micro and macronutrients levels of your
pH.
soil, pH, and then they will give you recommendations for you need to add blank amount of nitrogen to your soil
per 1,000 square feet or whatever.
Yeah, so they give you a full report. So it's quite lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And my biggest pet peeve is blossom boosters. Where, like it's a 0.49
Oh,
zero.
yeah.
And it's like your doctor saying, well, you need more vitamin C, so you eat a bottle of vitamin C every day.
Yeah.
Well, what you have is expensive urine
Yeah. Yeah.
because your body just can't use that much, and neither can the plants.
Exactly.
So a nice balanced fertilizer is a great place to start.
Yeah.
By balanced, I mean all three numbers are fairly close together.
Yep.
Doesn't have to be exactly 20, 20, 20, but, something where all three numbers are there. Nitrogen's the most important part. In fact, any science book, any college will tell you nitrogen is the most important nutrient as far as quantity the plant uses.
Yeah.
And then phosphorus and potassium, even though they're part of the top three, phosphorus and potassium are much, much less than nitrogen.
Yeah.
So enough of that. Okay? Anything else there?
We've got a couple more text messages. We have, it looks like maybe a
Who's this?
caller, Julie. It looks like maybe both Carol and Julie have ground cover questions.
Okay, well, let's start with Julie. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning. Glad to talk to you guys.
Well, you too. Thanks for calling the Garden Wise Show.
Thank you. So I have lost my yard. It is dirt, and I have no idea what happened. I've tried to do everything I can to keep the lawn going. I put fertilizer on last fall, and of course we didn't get any snow, and I'm not sure why I've got dirt, but that's what I've got. Going forward, I want to know, I don't want to keep putting Kentucky Blue down. I don't want to keep doing that because it's just with our water restrictions, and we may or may not have them again. I'm trying to figure out what I can put in that will be green on my lawn. Is there a kind of ground cover? Is there a type of grass that would work well in Colorado? Oh, good. What is it?
Yeah, there's a couple of good drought tolerant durable grasses. One of our natives is called buffalo grass. And this is a great time of year to seed it because it likes to grow in hot weather. There's also a couple of different other Bermuda type hybrids. One of them is called Dog Tough, and the other is called Tacoma, like the pickup truck.
Okay.
And
so if I were to do the buffalo grass, what would I need to do to prepare my ground for it? And where would I get buffalo grass?
most garden centers will carry buffalo grass, although I am under the understanding that there might be a bit of a seed shortage.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So you might want to call around and check and see. Okay. But buffalo grass is a warm season grass, so the seed, you don't want to seed it during the cool part of the year. It'll rot. So during the hot part of the year, that's when you want to put the buffalo grass in. Just rough up your soil and put the seed down. Don't cover it with anything, but what I do is I go over with a leaf rake or something like that, sort of rake it into the surface of the soil, and then I walk on it and really press it into the soil. And then you have to keep that seed bed wet.
Yeah.
And that may take several waterings a day. Short waterings, but several.
Yeah, like I usually, right now, to get seed to germinate, I'm recommending 3 times a day. Once in the early morning, once midday, and then once again in the evening.
Because if that seed starts to germinate and then gets too dry, it dies.
Yep.
Sure.
But you might only water that for 5 minutes.
Yeah, just a 5-minute watering.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wouldn't be doing something against the restrictions right now.
Yeah,
now
you would be.
I don't need to amend my soil at all.
No, buffalo grass doesn't like it very well. It likes the lean soil. And then the Dog Tough and the Tacoma, they come in plugs, living plants in small plugs that you just go through and stick in the ground. And again, you water it pretty regularly, but it spreads horizontally across and fills in.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much.
You're welcome.
And if you can with Denver Water, I think you can apply for a permit to get the seed to germinate. So you're allowed to water a little bit more.
So they won't write you a ticket or fine you or anything.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate your help.
Thanks for the call, Julie. Bye-bye. We're late for a break, so let's get out of here real quick so we can get back on the Garden Wise Show, Legend J10.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. Save up to 35% on thousands of evergreen trees in all sizes. Choose from arborvitae, upright juniper, Austrian pine, Bosnian pine, mugo pine, limber pine, blue, spruce, Serbian spruce, and more. And huge savings on thousands of shrubs and perennials. The Array of Tree Sale. Come see.
I-25 to exit 235, then 5 miles west to the Tree Farm.
Is your landscape ready for a tough season ahead? At Twin Oaks Tree Experts, we know healthy plants start with the basics: proper pruning, deep root watering, and expert fertilization for your trees and shrubs. And for your lawn, we've got you covered with smart mowing, precise fertilization, and efficient irrigation to keep it green and thriving. But it all begins with the right plant in the right place. Ask us about xeriscaping and native plants, beautiful, water-wise solutions designed for Colorado living. Stress trees attract pests, and this year, stress levels are high. Twin Oaks specializes in pest and disease control, protecting your landscape from threats like emerald ash borer, pine beetle, Japanese beetles, mites, fire blight, scale, and canker. Serving the community since 1998, our internationally certified arborists are your one-stop shop for everything your trees and plants need. Call or text 720-263-2337 or schedule online at twinoaksusa.com. Twin Oaks Tree Experts, helping your landscape thrive season after season.
Well, summer is in full swing now, and look who's back. Those nasty Japanese beetles, and they're ready to wreak havoc on your garden.
If you're looking to successfully control Japanese beetles without damaging the environment, look no further than Beetle Gone from Phylum Bioproducts. Derived from a naturally occurring soil bacteria, Beetle Gone is the only organic solution that successfully controls those destructive beetle invaders. Just mix the powder with water and spray on your plants. Once ingested, they stop feeding and die. And since it's an organic BT product, rest assured it's a safe choice to use on your fruits and veggies in addition to your ornamental flowers and trees.
Not only does Beetle Gone work on adult Japanese beetles, it is completely safe to use around beneficials such as ladybugs, butterflies, and bees, and has no issues with water toxicity. Beetle Gone from Phylum Bioproducts. Target the pest and not the rest.
Hot summer savings are in the air at Nick's Garden Center and Farm Market. Take 30% off all flowering annuals, hanging baskets, patio pots, veggie and herb plants. Got a late start planting this season? No worries. Nick's Garden Center is still bringing in fresh loads of plants. We also kick off the season with our Farm Market open daily. There's nothing like fresh fruits and vegetables picked at their peak of flavor from local growers. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff is always ready to assist you. For all your landscaping and garden needs, visit Nick's Garden Center and Farm Market, celebrating our 39th year of color, quality, and service. Located 2 blocks north of Iliff on Chambers Road in Aurora. Also visit us at nicksgardencenter.com.
Don't miss the Tree Farm's Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. See what's on sale at thetreefarm.com. Choose from flowering trees, fruit trees, evergreen trees, trees for narrow spaces, windbreaks, and privacy screens. Or add color to your yard with ornamental trees, flowering shrubs, perennials, and more. The Array of Tree Sale, now through July 14th. Come see.
You take I-25 to exit 235. Then 5 miles west to the tree farm.
Well, howdy ho, we are back to the show, and we've got all kinds of stuff going on, and let's start with Mike out in Littleton. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning. Over the years, you always say when you're using insecticides, pesticides, fertilizer, always follow directions.
Yes.
And I know you keep saying, and I've been trying to do it, using the rich lawn for the lilacs, bushes, salvias, but I'm still very scared of how much to use, the quantity side.
Oh, sure, yeah. I have a handheld fertilizer spreader.
So do I.
Are you familiar with those?
Yes, I have one.
Okay, and I adjust the setting to where it opens only halfway.
Yep. That's
Okay.
exactly what I do too.
And then I just go around and just apply it everywhere.
Yeah.
Just everywhere. I use it on
you
the
know what?
perennials and shrubs and everything, and I use that about once a month. You do need to make sure that you hose off or brush off any paved areas, cement, the sidewalks, that sort of thing, because there is iron in there and it can cause some staining.
Okay.
And
So
I
just
also will take, like, I love those little electric leaf blowers, the little battery powered ones, because
Oh,
they're
yeah.
lightweight. I also, if I fertilize like a flower bed or something, I will go through with one of those easy handheld leaf blowers too and blow it off the foliage.
Yeah, that'll
as
help
well,
too.
so the fertilizer doesn't stick to the foliage.
Yeah.
I usually, after like my salvia bed, after I've been using a half a cup and just throwing it,
Yeah.
and I usually water it a little bit.
That's great.
To get
Yeah.
everything off the leaves. Okay, I'll use my hand spreader. Give me a chance to use it again. And thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I've
you're
done
welcome.
both. I've spread it by hand, and I've done those little spreaders are the best though for doing it in beds.
Yeah.
Flower beds.
Absolutely.
Yes, I'll get the grass too.
Okay. Right, exactly.
There you go.
Well, thanks for the call, Mike.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Let's see. What do we have over here?
And then we've got Carol. She's got a picture with
Okay.
the ground cover.
All
with
right.
the moss, it looks like.
So let's go out and talk to Carol. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning, guys. This is my daughter's yard. She lives in the area right behind Full Street Market. And 2 years ago, the landscaper put in these walking stones. And they want to plant, or they've tried to plant, the landscaper put some in too, ground cover between those stones. Well, as you can see, nothing is working. It's all dying. What would you suggest would work in there? As far as exposure, that area has huge trees all over the place. So a portion of the day in the afternoon, they do get some sun, a little in the morning, and then the rest of the day it's kind of filtered. A suggestion for what they can use, I think they burned out what is that, Irish moss or something?
Yeah, it looks
that does.
Yeah.
That Irish moss and Scotch moss, that takes a really specific location to do well.
And they like a deep shade and some
Yeah,
moisture.
lots of
and-
moisture.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably look at some of the ground cover Veronicas.
Mm-hmm. A juga, maybe, like.
Oh, a juga would be good,
would be
yeah.
a nice one.
But they've got a juga in another bed that's across from that, and it's doing great, but it's in the shade all the time.
Okay, yeah, that's fine
but
too.
this one is not.
I have a juga in full shade as well. It's a real adaptable plant.
Yeah, it can handle a bit of sun.
You could even, a juga would work. The Veronicas would work. They'd give you some nice flowers. So.
Yeah.
What's Veronica look like?
It's got a little mouse-ear type leaf that stays flat to the ground and has a blue flower in the spring and early summer.
Yeah.
And it's a fast grower. I think it's a much better plant for this purpose between flagstones like that than thyme.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
it's
they
adaptable too. It can do sun and shade. So.
Yeah.
It doesn't like deep shade, but.
Well, it's. I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about when I say those huge trees everywhere in that area, and so it's really, really hard. She's planted some tomatoes, and she's got one about 4 feet across from each other, and one of them is just, it's huge, and the other one is just, kind of long. So there's a little variety of when sun is actually happening in that area for them.
Yeah.
So, so Veronica is your choice. She already has a bunch of ajuga and thyme, so we probably would want another choice.
Different.
I'd look at maybe Turkish Veronica.
Turkish, okay. Okay, I'm writing down. Okay, I sent another picture, but I don't think Joe said, and I sent it twice, and Joe said he didn't think it had come through. There's one just across from this in the corner of the yard, and it's a butterfly bush. I have never planted a butterfly bush, so I'm not at all familiar with them. How big do they get?
Oh, that depends on the variety.
Yeah, so there's the full size ones, which can get to be a good 10 feet tall.
Yeah.
And that one maybe looks like your big one.
Okay.
And then there's dwarf varieties that get to be 4 to 5 feet tall.
Yes, we have the picture.
And then there's really dwarf varieties that get to only be like 2 feet tall. So
One thing you can do to control the size of that is in the spring, prune it really hard to like within a foot of the ground.
Yep.
Okay.
And that will keep it much smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before anything blossoms, like in April. Like
Yes.
when you do roses.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, she was talking to me yesterday, and she said, this thing is huge, and it's only been in there about 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just totally taken off.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So a hard pruning every spring will help control the size. All right.
Okay, so that's sort of the mid-sized one. Is that what you're saying?
That's one of the big ones.
Yeah, that's the one that gets
Okay.
8
All
to
right.
10 feet.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Now, thanks for your call this morning.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. We are just right almost to the end of the show here. Devon, I want to thank you for coming out and joining me today and helping
pleasure.
answer the questions and reading the text messages for me because I don't have my glasses.
He left his glasses in the car today.
Yeah. Oh, well, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, yes, just wanted to remind everybody that this is a show that we do every week, every Saturday from 7 to 9, all throughout the year. And you can also join me on my website, which is fairly new for the past, I don't know, we started about the early part of the year, gardenwiseguy.com. The July newsletter is up and running on the website right now, and all kinds of other stuff. You can even watch and listen to the radio show on the website there. So be sure and check that out, gardenwiseguy.com. Until next week, keep your shovel sharp, be careful where you dibble, get out there and have a great time, and keep it wise.
The preceding program is sponsored by JK Communications.